Welcome back. Do smartphones actually damage our memories? Are they the reason that we forget so much these days? A lot of experts say smartphones have almost grafted onto our anatomy and that we're starting to see the effect of the near constant use. For everything from communication and research to daily reminders to phone number recall to following simple directions. So it's not a reach when they say contracting out all that brain work has made our brains less nimble. But one Harvard professor says there may be more to the story. Dr. Daniel Schacter is a professor of psychology at Harvard. His book is called The 7 Sins of Memory, and he joins me live tonight. Doctor, are you ready to add an 8th sin, and that is too much smartphone use, or not quite yet?
Well, maybe you've just given me the title for my next book, The 8th Sin of Memory. But I
charge less than agents, so I'm glad. But I tend to think there's got to be something to it.
Yeah, I think about it from the perspective of the 7 sins I talk about. A couple of them have to do with different kinds of forgetting. So the way I ask the question is, are smartphones impacting, making worse these normal sins of memory? Something I call transience, that's forgetting over time, and absent-mindedness, that's a breakdown at the interface of attention and memory. And when we look at all the studies that have been done, I think that there's clearly evidence for a negative effect in some respects. For example, if we rely on GPS, there's good evidence to show that we're going to have a less full memory of the route that we just traveled than if we navigate ourselves. But what people are really worried about, I think, is what some call digital amnesia. The idea that relying on the smartphone via GPS or other uses is creating a much broader effect on memory, so that if we rely on GPS, we're going to lose our ability to remember more generally. And that's where the evidence is not as strong.
Sometimes I just wonder if it's like when you are interrupted constantly, as we are, if you're on your email, your push notification will show up or an alarm will go off or some kind of an alert. And it's just like squirrel, we just can't stay focused on one thing. And if you can't focus on one thing, you can't imprint a memory. So doesn't it just stand to reason if you're just, if you're drinking from a dirty fire hose of information at all times, there's just no way you can imprint that much stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. There is an important influence of attention on memory, as you've just indicated. In order for something to get into memory, we have to attend to it first. And if we're constantly being distracted in various ways, that will definitely reduce our memory for that particular event. So I'm a professor. I give lectures to my students in classes, and I hope that they remember what I tell them. If they're on their smartphones during class, being distracted, then they're going to remember less of that lecture than if they were paying full attention. And anything, smartphone or otherwise, that produces that kind of distraction is going to produce a bad outcome for memory. But again, there's the broader question: if I am distracted by my smartphone, if I use it a lot, is that really creating a general impairment of my ability to create new memories, even when I'm not using my smartphone? And some researchers have looked at that. They call it media multitasking. To people who engage in media multitasking, that is using a smartphone or a laptop while they're trying to do other tasks, have worse memory than those who do less of that. And there is some evidence linking those two things, but what we don't know is whether media multitasking causes this kind of memory, general memory impairment, or whether people who have poor attention and memory skills tend to engage more in media multitasking. So we don't really know yet which way the causality goes.
Sure. If it's the chicken or the egg. Okay, but here's the most important question of all, and that is, can we reverse all of this? Because I'm your guinea pig. Call me up. I'll be in your study. I have been losing my mind, literally, for all these years that I've been in the media, because we have 10 screens going at all times, plus a couple smartphones, and we're listening to a live news conference, plus writing scripts and trying to, do a million other things. So can we fix it? If we've already screwed things up, can we reverse it?
Well, you can reverse it in the sense that if you reduce those number of distractions and you focus more on a single task, you're going to have better memory for that task. What we don't know yet is whether there is this generally impairing effect on memory. So when you're being distracted, when you've got 10 things going on, that's going to impair your memory. Does that mean that if I ask you to tell me about your vacation last year, you're going to have a worse memory because of being distracted by various kinds of smartphone alerts and the like? That's the thing that we don't really know the answer to. So we don't yet know that that problem is there in a way that needs to be fixed. But you can improve your memory for any particular event by just reducing the amount of distraction around you, whether it's from smartphones or anything else.
I'm going to remember absolutely everything you said. I promise. Dr. Schacter, thank you so much for being here. I want to have you back again soon.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.